In week 2 of checking out certifications for a good start in data science machine learning AI, while exploring Google Cloud Professional Machine Learning Engineer, I encountered the first major problems. So let's dive in. And welcome back to Saravji's Hut. This week I'm talking about the difficulties and problems that I had going through the Google Cloud Professional Machine Learning Engineering learning materials while exploring how to get started in data science machine learning AI, exploring a number of certifications. If you haven't already, please review the previous week's episodes and also hit the subscribe button to get notified about new uploads. Let's dive in. So this week I encountered some significant problems. It took me about 8 hours to resolve these, so that was most of the time that I actually had available this week. The issue, I think, is related to Quick Labs and not Google Cloud primarily. I was several times on chat with Quick Labs support and was asked to submit screenshots and explain the problem. So after several hours on chat there, several files submitted, 2 times overnight, I'm getting a copy-paste response that is not answering and not related to the problems that I'm seeing. It is an answer, exactly the same wording, exactly everything identical, both times, to something different. So the problem was not understood multiple times. I did not get help with the problem that I actually had, so I needed to figure it out on my own, so that cost quite a bit of time. But I think I understand what the issue is. What I did in the first lab, this is actually the lab, it says that we should sign in using Quick Labs using an incognito window. So this is what I did. But what I also did is I kept a window, the regular window, open in order to actually have the instructions available of what I need to do in the lab. So one window for having actually the lab where I can do something, another window with the instructions what I'm supposed to do, or what the lab is asking me to do. And this was the issue. Quick Labs between these 2 sessions in a regular window and an incognito window does not separate cleanly. So what I actually had happen, I'm starting the lab in the incognito window. The timer in the regular window also started. And while going here down into the next step, actually loading the data and doing what is being asked right here at these steps, step 4, I wasn't able to actually load the data set or view the data set and get it to show up because the account was switched from the student account that I logged in the incognito window with and was switched to my regular account, and that caused an error message that I needed to resolve and switch back to the student account, and this switching back opened another tab, and with that the association to the lab was somehow lost and I couldn't load the data, so I couldn't get past this step here to actually load the data and make the data available in this lab. The solution that I found is to log out and close any session in all browsers on all computers that you might be logged into Quick Labs. So don't be anywhere in the learning path, don't be in the lab, don't be, and it doesn't matter. I had the problems going from Chrome into a Firefox private window. So this problem persisted. And only have one session open. And if you want to have a window actually with instructions, open everything in your incognito window and split then your Chrome session in here by going into the lab, duplicating the tab and actually pulling one out. Then it works. The moment you are anywhere logged in other than in the incognito window, any other session, doesn't matter if it's on the same computer, doesn't matter if it's in the same browser or not, it is completely independent on that. Google Quick Labs is going to be confusing these sessions and you're not going to be able to do the lab. That is what I found out. So, and this cost me, like I said, about 8 hours this week. I consider it a major fail. This complete lab, after I had it sorted out, I could do the lab going step by step and actually exploring a little bit more, familiarizing myself with the user interface and all that. I could do the lab in 12 minutes altogether. For this week, sorting out the problems, I spent more than 8 hours on it. So that was not a pleasant experience. And the answer that I got back from Quick Labs support explaining by screenshots, actually having multiple of the windows with the series of what is happening laid on top of each other with all the tabs that are being opened by Quick Labs, not by myself, by Quick Labs actually, and having all them in the screenshot overlain and presenting and sending this to the Quick Labs support team. I'm getting the answer that they check the lab and the lab works. There is no issue with the lab. That is not the issue that I reported. There is a problem with session tracking while doing labs. Complete different problem. So that was the issue that I ran into and that I had to resolve myself. So this here is actually one of the screenshots that I submitted. As you can see, it's the first query here, or the first tab here with going through it, then the error message that I was getting, and then I couldn't load it from here. So switching back to the student account did not work. This concludes this week's episode of Exploring Certifications at Saravji's Hut. See you again next week. I appreciate you dropping by. Please subscribe. I'm done here. Fire to that.